Hey y'all, so before I get this video started, let me give a quick shout out. These were the first 3 comments in my last video. If you want to be featured in my next video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell and come show me some love when I drop a new video. What's up, you guys? It's KeAmber Vaughn, aka CoachKe, coming back to you with another video. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and if you're not new, welcome back. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell so that you are notified of every new video that I post. So as you guys can tell by the title of this video, it's time for me to do my budget results or budget recap for my November budget. So I've already written in what all the income and expenses were, as far as like just the title of them and also the budgeted part. And then all we're going to do is the actuals and the pluses or minuses. I've also already closed out the budget, so I'm going to show you guys what happens really quickly and then we'll do the results. So I ended up spending $546.75 in those 2 weeks of my last paycheck. And really the only reason is because essentially I knew that the month of December I wanted to save as much money as I possibly could so that I could take off all of February. So in doing that, certain things that I could have really waited for my December budget to start, just so I wouldn't be over budget in certain categories, I just did it just then, because I'm like, okay, well, let me put it in November so that it doesn't come out of December. So December I'm saving more money. I didn't really have any like really huge purchases. Most of it was just groceries. I had to fill up my car again, and then I did take out $190 for Christmas gifts. So that's basically cash for what, I think 6 of the 7 people, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think 6 of the 7 people. And then the 7th person, my sister, I already know what she wants for Christmas. She just wants a onesie from Walmart, so I'm gonna get her that this month. And that's pretty much it. As far as what I sent off to savings at the end of the month, it ended up being an additional $534.76, which $374.34 went to my miscellaneous / investment sinking fund, and then $80.21 went towards my travel and car sinking fund. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the actuals. I'm actually going to use, oh, I don't know where that other blue pen is, so I'll end up using this one. I did get me a new pack of the Parkour gel pens. I got it from Amazon. I think it was like $8.99. Take that off. Okay, so paycheck 1 ended up being $1435.79. Paycheck 2 ended up being $1295.26. I think my paychecks from now on should end up being about $1,300 to $1,350 because I did end up getting a raise, but we'll see. And then my YouTube paycheck ended up being, why did only half of this thing come off? $321.82. And I forgot to put the Amazon in here. Shoot. So I'm going to put plus $1264. Okay. So the actuals for the income, $1295.26, $321.82, and then $1264 ends up being $3,065.51, which is correct. So for paycheck 1, I earned $268.41 more than what I budgeted. Paycheck 2, ended up being $127.88 more. And then the YouTube one, $316.71. Then we have to add the $1264 because I didn't budget for the Amazon. Did I? Yeah, I didn't. And I don't know why, because I knew I was putting it into this budget. So I put it up there. I'm recording. Okay, so I ended up earning $14.04 more than what I budgeted. And I'm going to go backwards real quick to make sure that's right. Okay, so now let's get into the actual expenses. As far as my fixed expenses, everything was what I budgeted except one thing. So I'm just writing out the ones that I know was exactly what it was supposed to be. And then this yearly credit card fee, I absolutely forgot about this because this is actually my first time paying the annual fee. Well, not the first time. The first time was when I opened up the card, but it's been a year and I just totally forgot. And for some reason, I didn't write that in the space that I write all of my yearly expenses right here. So I did end up going ahead and writing that in after it was already forgotten about. So that ended up being $69. And I told you guys in the last video when I was trying to close the budget out, I'm like, yo, I'm missing like 88 something dollars. Like, where is it at? And I'm like, you know, usually it doesn't show in the amount that you owe before it actually shows the transaction, at least showing a pending transaction, but it was still showing. So the 69 was part of it. And then it was a couple of other expenses. Okay, so you guys know that, actually, let me do this real quick. So I should not forget this from now on. So you guys know when I do my variable expenses, I actually track the pluses or minus as the month is going on. So we'll go ahead and write those in. And I told y'all last video, like I am over budget in a lot of the categories, but I explained to you guys why. So we have $43.92 over budget in groceries. Personal household is $17.99 over budget. Restaurants, I was actually under budget. And honestly, I think that's why I was over budget in groceries, because usually I spend most of my money out of my restaurant category, and I did not eat out very much this particular month. So of course, with that happening, that means that I spent more on groceries. And with me starting to become more consistent again with working out, I did start buying these protein shakes that they're like yogurt based, and they're $2 a piece. So that's like an extra 30 something dollars a month. So that takes up the 43 right there, you know, for the most part. So it's something that I will be accounting for from here on out. And I might just start reducing my restaurant budget and increasing my grocery budget just to kind of offset it a little bit. Shopping, I was under budget $54.63. I budgeted $250, knowing that most of that was going to be money I was withdrawing for Christmas gifts. Philip asked me, like, what's a good amount to spend without being too cheap and without being too generous? For me, it's literally $25 a person. Love and time spent with people is way more important than material things for me. And I can say that honestly because I also am not really a gift person. I don't really care for gifts. I appreciate a card that's meaningful more than I appreciate a gift that's just given to me because it's a holiday or because it's a birthday. I literally still have cards from my 16th birthday, from my graduation when I graduated high school at 16. Like, those are the things that's meaningful to me. I even still have this Valentine's Day bear or stuffed animal that my donor's mother gave to me before she passed away, the Valentine's before she passed away, and she passed away 20 years ago. So for me, if somebody wants something expensive, they should buy it they damn self. That's just the way that I feel about it. And luckily, my family's not very materialistic at all. We pretty much just give each other the same $20, $25 for each other's birthdays and Christmases. So it always pretty much just comes back to us. So let's see, miscellaneous. I was over budget $937. What did I spend? Oh, it's because I ended up buying $27 worth of black seed oil from my grandma, and that's not really something that I had budgeted for. Supplements, I ended up being over budget $2.50, and that's just because one of my actually both of them, they kind of fluctuate in the price every month, so just ended up being a little bit more expensive than I'm used to. And then 9101 is what I still had left over for business, because the only thing I did was buy the new pack of pens that I just showed you guys. So let's figure out what our actuals are. So 250 plus the 43.92. Excuse me. 290. Why am I doing it in that color? 293.92 is what I spent on groceries. Personal household ended up being 142.99. Restaurants minus 81.80 ended up being 43.20. Gas, I filled up twice and got a $10 car wash, so I spent $68.75. Shopping $195.37. Miscellaneous will be $109.37. Supplements will be $105.50. Business should be $8.99. So let's do the total for the actual. 62.49, 20, 954, 165.22, 69, 293.92, 142.99, 43.20, 68.75, 95.37, 109.37, 105.50, 8.99. So that gives me $15.94.34. Okay, and then I'm just gonna do the pluses or minuses on the side. So we have negative 69 minus 92 minus 17.99 plus 81.80 plus 11.25 plus 54.63 minus 9.37 minus 2.50 plus 91.01. So I did still end up being a little bit under budget, even though we got a lot of reds over here on this side. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is the savings, and then we'll go ahead and grade this budget. So what I wanted to send to my savings overall was $961.22. And this of course did not take into account like what I would save when I reconcile my budget down. Basically whatever I didn't spend, I saved. So as far as what I sent to the miscellaneous / investment sinking fund, paycheck 1 was $246, and then we had paycheck 2, which was $362.68, and then when I reconciled down we had another $374.34. So that is going to give me an actual of $983.02, which if I subtract the $628.52, I ended up sending $354.50, more than what I thought. Car sinking fund $52.71 plus $77.71 plus $80.21 gives me $210.63, and I send the same amount to my travel sinking fund that I do the car sinking fund. So I'm going to subtract $134.68. So I sent $75.95 more than what I budgeted. Tax sinking fund, I ended up sending $66.89. So I sent $3.55 more than what I budgeted. So $983.02. And I'm going to show you guys also how I close the budget out on my weekly allocations page, because I don't typically show that, but I do want to show how I do it. So that means that what I ended up sending to savings this month was $1471.17, which if I divide that by my income, that is 47.9% of my income saved. Cool. All right, then I'm just gonna do the pluses and minuses over here real quick. So I saved an additional $509.95, which is basically what I ended up underspending. So before I give myself a grade, let me show y'all real quick how I reconcile or close out on the weekly allocations page. Basically, literally all I do, and I've shown this process before, but I haven't in a while. I end up, first of all, putting at the top what the total income is. And that kind of helps me when I'm doing my checks and balances at the end. But I basically take each column and I add them going down. So essentially what I kept in my savings for my everyday expenses and my bills was $21.29.10, and then what I saved was $936.41. Well, at the end of the month, like I said, if you're new here, whatever's in excess of $4,000 in my checking account, I send that off to savings. So what was in excess was this $534.76. So I end up adding that to the savings side, but in doing that, I have to subtract it from the checking side because I'm sending it from my checking to my savings, right? So that means that total what I spent was $1594.34. And then we have $1471.17 on this side. So hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave them down below. Please thumbs up this video, subscribe if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.